First of all, I want to say thanks for watching Retro Tech Toys. I'm really excited about this episode. So let's go estate sailing. We got to this first property and it was pretty cool, but it was kind of older. It was a little bit run down. And as some of you might know, when you go to an estate sale, you're pretty much going to a place where people have passed away and their possessions are being sold. So, always be polite and professional. As you can see, I've come across some stuff in here that I'm not really interested in, like, telephones and DVD players and things like that. Nothing that caught my fancy, except for this cool banjo, but I didn't feel like restoring it, and that old turntable was kind of I just don't have room for it, and it looks like, it's probably been sitting in a closet for the longest time. This typewriter was pretty cool, but it looked like it needed some repair, so again, no space, needs repair, I'm gonna pass it up. Have some more knickknacks and collectibles and things like that, but nothing that I'm terribly interested in. Even some of the musical instruments, not really. So I walked outside and looked around, and there was a Christmas tree just ready to roll. And I decided that cool barn building shed thing looked like it would be fun to check out. So sometimes you can find some pretty neat things in there. So I walked back there, and unfortunately, we've got just knickknacks and old brooms and tools and things that I'm not really interested in. So I walked the property some more, and all this stuff is for sale. That broken bird bath and this old broken chair, everything's for sale. But even that bed, or whatever that is, but I don't need it. It's not really what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna move on to the next property. But before I do that, check this thing out over here. I almost bought that just because it's weird, but I didn't. So let's go on to the next estate sale. This place was advertised as being full of stuff, and there were some pictures, but you can't always tell a lot from the pictures, so we went and checked it out. Some older furniture and flowers and another old telephone. And looking around, I didn't see anything down there, so I went upstairs to see if there was anything upstairs that I'd like to find. And nothing except for that old TV and a $125 table, a twin bed, and some more Christmas stuff, because if you know anything about the South, people love Christmas. So I went outside to look around again. I saw some old networking gear, but nothing really special, so on to the next place. This one was described as a time capsule, so I was really interested to see what we could find. I checked the outside building, and there was this old machine here for $100, and there was this old CD player. Not really interested. Didn't really want the chair either, so that's not retro tech, is it? So we went into the house because I wanted to see exactly how this place was a time capsule. And yeah, it's a time capsule. If you like retro 60s and 70s furniture and old console radios, this is the place for you. I went downstairs because sometimes you can find really cool gear in the basement. And unfortunately, the basement was completely empty, even though there was a sign that was like, more stuff down here. Not really. Nothing that I don't think anyone was going to buy. Mostly pretty empty. So, of course, it was time to walk back upstairs. And I decided to check out the top floor to see if there was anything in there. Because sometimes you'll find like a little hidden room with a bunch of electronics. And, well, I found a CRT TV and some old air purifier thing. Really, that was it, except for some old furniture. I got some old, some other old stuff over here, like a couple of cameras, but nothing I really like. So again, this Panasonic VCR, nah, I've got plenty of VCRs, so it's time to leave this place. It was a cool, it was a cool house. It was really pretty inside, and it was definitely a time capsule, but on to the next place. This one was described as an affordable estate sale with lots of goodies inside, so I was curious. Walked in and I saw a CRT TV again. I don't need another tube television. Some old printer for $50 or $40 or something. Some old mice that I don't really need. Not really interested at all. I looked over here and this looked a little more promising, but I walked over and it was an old Polaroid camera and another, more old telephones and I think that was a radio down there on the bottom, like the next to the bottom shelf. Nothing I really want. And things seem to be kind of expensive too. Check out that TV for $100, and look at that E-Machines monitor and keyboard for $40. No thank you. Also, there was another LCD down there that you can get for $5 at the Goodwill for $50. So I was pretty much done with this place, especially when I saw that TV VCR for $50. So on to the next place, and this was the last place, and I'd heard that there was something really special inside, and it had been sitting there for 2 days because this was day number 2 of the estate sale, so I was pretty much afraid that I was gonna miss it completely. Didn't see it in the garage except for, well, there's a Bush Cheney sign, but you know what? I don't need one of those. So I walked inside the house, and I'm just determined to see if this thing is still here. I saw some old DVD player, and I started walking into some of the rooms because sometimes they'll hide that stuff in the rooms. And I went into the closet, and there was some old clothing, and then there were knickknacks on the bed for sale, and a couple of DVDs, not what I'm looking for at all, jackets and more clothing. So, you know, went to the next room because I'm determined. I'm like, if it's here, I'm going to get it. And I walked back here, and right as I was feeling discouraged, I saw it. A complete Odyssey 2 system for $195. I'm not paying $195, but I'm confident that I can talk them down, and I did. I got it for $90, and here it is at home. I opened the box up, and it was stuffed full of games like Type and Tell, and, you know, hockey and soccer, and several others. We've got baseball and Casey's Crazy Chase. And I was just so surprised that I actually found this thing. I couldn't believe it was there. Alpine skiing was another cool game that I got. Like, this thing is just sitting there, like, and there was a story behind it too. Apparently the guy that bought it was the first owner. He bought it when it first came out, and the guy next door would come over as a kid and play the system. Like, he would play with it, and after a while they just put it up. Like, maybe after a year or two, they just put it up and boxed everything up and put it, you know, in the closet, and they kept it there for all these years. Look, Quest for the Rings, factory sealed. You know, many other games, you know, Alien Invaders, Monkey Shines, friggin' volleyball, you know, Out of This World, Helicopter Rescue, another copy of Casey's Crazy Chase, so I've got duplicates there. I mean, this whole thing was insane for $90, and it came with everything. Some of these games were factory sealed. And, you know, this is why I do what I do, because had someone not bought this, and it had been sitting there for 2 days, and that's why I thought it wasn't going to be there anymore. But had I not bought this and someone else not have bought it, like, this probably would have been thrown in the trash. And, you know, I'm not going to let that happen. Like, this is stuff that is not being made anymore, and I'm going to make sure that I do what I can to preserve this stuff. But yeah, look at all this, man. Like, I can't believe I got all that. And it was a really good deal, too. Here's some pictures of everything. There was the Odyssey 2 and some games. Both the controllers. I found out that one of the controllers needs a little bit of repair work done on it, but I think it's just a loose connection. It should be really easy to fix. I actually played this thing for hours, and I had so much fun. And I actually have a copy of Quest for the Rings that's open, so I got to play that for a while too. That game actually requires 2 players, but you know, you can make it work. There it is in my office that I'm remodeling. Still working on that. Got some pictures there of it sitting there with my collection, and that's about it for today. Thanks for watching Retro Tech Toys, and I'll see you next time.